Now to the unemployment crisis here in Indiana and potentially thousands of unemployed Hoosiers who are being told that they have to repay thousands of dollars that they got in federal benefits. iTeam8 has now received more than 700 complaints about the Department of Workforce Development.
And our iTeam is covering this story from all angles tonight. We will go ahead and start with iTeam8's Richard ESSEX with lawmakers demanding the governor take action. Richard.
Well, today I asked the governor, the commissioner of the Department of Workforce Development, majority leadership in both the House and the Senate to talk about the growing number of complaints on the Department of Workforce Development, and nothing. However, Senate Democrats are demanding the governor order waivers for those that are being forced to repay non-fraudulent unemployment benefits and come out of the shadows and talk about what's happening inside the Department of Workforce Development. Lawmakers have gone home for the summer, and there are no legislative meetings scheduled this week. There is activity in the governor's office, but they told iTeam8 that the governor is not available for an interview. iTeam8 has received more than 700 complaints about the Department of Workforce Development. Almost a third of those are about forced repayment of unemployment benefits that people were eligible for, but the state has since found issues, and they want the money back. Now, we have asked DWD how many people are being asked to repay, and so far we haven't gotten an answer. Indiana State Senator TALLIAN sits on the Labor Committee and was part of a committee of lawmakers that met weekly with DWD during the pandemic. She says that Indiana law allows the governor and the commissioner of DWD to offer waivers for overpayments.
I looked up the code this morning. It's specifically in there that said, and there's a provision that DWD can do this. So my guess is that we just need to push on Mr. Payne and Governor Holcomb and demand that this happen.
Remember, just yesterday, iTeam8 showed you all the states surrounding Indiana that have created overpayment waivers for federal benefits: Kentucky, Ohio, Illinois, and Michigan. Senator TALLIAN also tells iTeam8 that in the last 6 months, the federal government has given Indiana $900 million to cover unemployment benefits. She says there's plenty of money to waive these overpayments. Again, we have asked how many people have been targeted by the state to repay and how much money has been sent out, and so far, nobody from state government can give us a straight answer. We will continue to press the governor's office and the commissioner of the Department of Workforce Development for straight answers, and we'll bring them to you as soon as we get them. In downtown Indianapolis at the State House, Richard ESSEX, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.
Richard, thank you. Meanwhile, while we keep demanding answers from the Department of Workforce Development, we also want to give you some help in the process as well. iTeam8's Jasmine Miner has actions that folks can take to help win an appeal.
Well, I got to tell you, Phil, the stack just keeps getting bigger.
Yeah.
As you heard from Richard, we're over 700 complaints now that we've received, but more and more people that we're hearing from are considering an attorney. But of course, I mean, this is money, right?
Sure.
Attorneys cost more money. And so this is what we want to help you guys out with. I spoke to a local attorney specifically that's just going to give you some tips on how you can actually afford to make sure you win the appeal. Other person over $10,000. Another person says, I'm frantic, wondering how I'm going to survive on what I bring home a month. I mean, this is really stressful.
What I'm hearing is anywhere from $3,000 on the low end to $33,000 on the high end. You can hear it through the phone, their anxiety and their frustration with the system.
Employment attorney Shannon Melton says his firm, John Haskin Associates, will typically step in for the appeal process. And he says he's seen the state make several mistakes.
Why are people having to repay?
The thing I can think of is maybe a personnel shortage at the beginning of all this and pushing claims through without doing full investigations.
Whatever the case, Shannon's had big success in winning appeals.
First one was $19,000. So I mean, we're not talking about, minuscule amounts of money. We're talking about, for some people after taxes, it's their entire paycheck.
So what can you do? Shannon says pay attention to your correspondence. Check your portal every day because you only get 10 to 15 days to file for an appeal and get your documents in.
You miss that deadline, you're pretty much out of luck. If you cannot hire an attorney, try to write the best appeal that you can.
And he says when you finally get a court date, the hearing will usually be done over the phone.
Don't let that phone call go by. Or definitely had those phone calls where they missed the phone call and then it came out against them.
What do you want to see from the state?
Make the determination that this was a really bad event. It was nationwide, global-wide issue, and maybe cut people a break.
In the meantime, anyone who has to repay when it comes to sending in documents,
If you're sending it by fax, make sure to keep that success sheet or, go sheet or whatever.
Keep the receipts.
Yeah, exactly. There's no way to force the state to go faster on these things. Don't give up. That's what we've told people several times. Don't give up.
Well, now, if you look closely at your repayment letter, there is a waiver on the back, but it does not specifically address pandemic unemployment benefits. Well, Shannon tells me it's still worth trying to get waived for pandemic unemployment, and we'll have a list of Shannon's self-help tips on wishtv.com. Just click As Seen on Wish. I'm Jessica Miner for Wish TV, wishtv.com. Don't forget to give us a follow on Facebook.